I'll just set this up, and I want to play a clip because I did a show with John yesterday, and we talked about this a little bit. So I want to play this clip from that, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it now that I'm thinking about how I have this set up. We'll see. But basically what Elisa did is she said, John, I've got into this new thing. I'm doing IRL streaming. And basically what you do is you just stream from your phone all day, whatever you're doing, and people watch and they can donate money, and it's an interactive thing. And I honestly think it's a brilliant idea for John. I think he'd have tons of people watching, just him running errands. People would tune in for that. I'd be fascinated.
I would watch him like eating a sandwich, just like anything, literally just like walking that, just interacting with any person.
John inflating his bed.
Yeah. Shuli called this a couple years ago.
Around his house. He doesn't even have to leave, really. He could just sit there and, give like a house tour, something very simple. And I feel like it would be easier for him than like booking guests or, getting into the political thing. I don't think people want to hear him talking about politics. I think they want to see him eating a sandwich.
You're 100% accurate on that, because I tuned into his show very briefly today, and he had the lowest numbers he's had since he came back because he's doing his political show on Wednesday. Nobody cares about that shit. It's so boring. But John just sitting and scratching his ass on the couch, I'll probably be watching for 90 minutes straight.
Yeah. Remember when High Pitch Eric was
him like fall asleep and can you just imagine like 1,000 people watching him falling asleep, eating a sandwich, going on a date. Imagine if he went on a date on that.
Well, I can see him dozing off and waking up to $3,000. Like, all right.
Exactly.
He's just drooling on himself.
Farting in his sleep.
Just farting and drooling.
That's how bad he is at politics, is that he's already falling asleep and scratching his ass. That we just don't want to. We want the politics out of it.
Right, yeah. Like, can you just not talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a sandwich.
The thing about the sleep stream, though, that would be so successful for John, I don't know if he knows this, but if he fell asleep, all his trolls would try to wake him up by sending money and loud noises all night long.
You're right. Did you pitch this to him? You probably didn't get a chance to.
I tried to pitch everything to him. I had so many ideas. That was the biggest money maker for him, I think, would be sleeping and people trying to wake him up and air horns, sending air horns.
That is the best version of him.
Yeah. Well, I don't sleep. I just pass
imagine
out.
It.
All right, let me play this clip for you and tell me if you can hear this or not.
Hot chicks want to come to my house, call 911.
Can you hear that?
Yes, I can.
Beautiful. Okay, so someone super chats, Big Hank super chats. 2 chicks want to come to my house, call 911. And so this is like a 3-minute long clip. If you want me to pause it along the way, let me know. I might pause it myself. But he's going to address what happened on Saturday night, where he threatened to call the police on you and your friend.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, John made plans with Elisa, said she can come over to his house. Elisa told him she was bringing a friend. He knew about all of this, and it turns into John calling the police on them.
Of course it does.
Hot chicks want to come to my house, call 911.
You got to stop calling the cops all the time, John, or threatening it. It's weird.
Dude, I thought they were in front of my house showing my address. What would you do?
I would go outside and say, ladies.
I wasn't there.
The night is over. Okay, well then go home and tell them that.
No, I was playing pool at a friend's house.
So definitely get the police involved then if you wanted to keep playing pool at a friend's house. That makes sense.
I don't
Stop getting the police involved in shit.
Carl, I don't have a car. I don't have a car.
All right, so already this is insane. He's going to call the police because you were at his house, which you were invited to go to. Somebody took my car. and he wants to play pool at his buddy's house, so he's going to call the cops on you. All right.
I think it's just like because he was so maybe drunk that he couldn't think straight, or I don't know what. I don't know, because we definitely had every plan ahead of time. I went over and over with him about the Wi-Fi and everything. We were never supposed to be at that bar.
Right. And I explained that to him, and I'll let this play. So listen to this. This is from yesterday, my interview with Stuttering John.
So I had to just say, I just said, just get away from my house.
Okay.
And then, or I'm going to call the cops to have you, because I thought they were hanging out in front of my house. Like, what would you do?
What would John Gotti Jr. say about that? What would John Gotti Jr. say?
This is where Carl says, that I shouldn't call the cops. Meanwhile, Carl tells me that if anybody ever fucked with his house, he would call the cops. But now he's mad at me for saying that I'm going to call the cops.
You specifically said vandalize my house. You go, if I vandalize your house, you can vandalize mine. I said, no, I'll call the police. Someone vandalizes my house.
Okay.
Elisa, let me tell you the background of this real quick.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but where John lives, you were just at his house. I live just down the street from there. I bought a house in Florida.
I heard that.
Okay. Somehow John and I are neighbors. So when John and I when we first discovered this, John goes, no, listen, I'm not going to do anything to your house because you know where I live, so you can do something to my house. I go, well, I'm not going to do anything to your house. I would call the police if you did something to my house. Because that's, I'm not going to get a tit for tat thing.
After something happened to your house, then you call the police.
Correct.
Not at the inkling of maybe something might happen to my house.
Toilet paper your tree, and
eggs. That's going to
you've gone too far.
I saw Carl Hamburger buying eggs at the supermarket.
Yeah, he's calling the cops. There's no way this guy likes omelets. I'm calling the cops. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get back to this clip because it does get interesting here. Someone vandalizes my house.
Okay, so
that's very different than what you're doing.
Okay, so if two trolls are in front of your house and you
trolls,
think that
you made plans with them, you were hanging out with them, trolls.
Here we go again.
Oh my God.
Here we go again. Here's the truth.
He muted me just now.
Yeah, I know. Here we go again. Here we go. Making good points.
Yeah,
I like
trolls. You literally invited them to your house. All right, sorry. Getting back to the clip.
Elisa said she was going to come with a friend and show me how to do IRL. That's it. She didn't tell me she's going to ambush me at the place with fucking loud music on an external speaker and fucking everyone's telling her to turn it off and she refuses.
That's
now,
what IRL is, though, John. Yeah. What you should have done is you should have left the establishment with her and she could have shown you how to IRL.
Carl. If you're going to show me, and this is why I want you to be honest and don't be just a fucking lame ass obsessed troll. If she's going to show me how to do IRL, wouldn't she come into the bar, have a drink, and go, okay, this is how we're going to set it up. This is how we're going to start it. This is how we're going to do it.
Oh, and also give you a kiss, John.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the first things John asked for was a peck from Elisa.
Buy me a drink.
Yeah.
Full tongue.
Don't you think you would give me a blowjob in the bathroom? Buy me a drink.
Yeah, we ease into the IRL.
This is how I pictured it going in my head.
Yeah. What a loser.
Any comments, Elisa, so far?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll finish the clip because I think.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Elisa, did he understand the concept of IRL before you guys arrived?
Looking back, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. I don't think so either because you literally explained it to him. When you were on his show, you literally explained what it is you do and how you do it. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, I could take you on my Harley. You go, no, that's not going to work.
Okay, no further questions.
It's going to be a quiet car. Yeah. We're streaming. We're talking to people. This isn't a date. And John keeps thinking in his head it's a date for some reason.
I know you've explained it to me 5 times, but what does the I stand for again? And the R?
Okay, and then just one more question. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to this.
Or would you come into my fucking bar with a fucking hip-hop music blaring so the bartender has to tell her to turn it off, the patrons have to tell her to turn it off, and I do? Which would you do?
Well, I'm not Elisa Jordana. I don't do IRL streaming, but I know enough of...
So now you're not going to fucking answer. Because
I will answer. I will answer the question. I don't do IRL streaming. I would never do that. I wouldn't be blasting music at any type of establishment. But that's what she does. That's how she was going to teach you how to do it, by doing it in front of you.
No.
I knew that. I knew she was going to do that. How do you not know that? I've never met this woman. I mean, we have met. I was getting fired up. We haven't met in person, I guess was my point. So, Elisa, please.
Yeah.
I think most people know what happened. It was covered on Shuli. You're on with Shuli talking about this. But basically, you show up. You drive 2.5 hours to meet up with John. You guys you're gonna spend the night at his house. He says he's gonna give you his bed. He's got his air mattress in the other room. He's gonna sleep on. This is all an arranged thing. So you guys show up and you're like, hey, we're doing it. This is happening. We're going. Like this. You're filming all the way on the way there. You're filming when you get there. This is how this works. And John immediately just wants to hang out at the bar with what he says are his friends. He's like, I'm with these people. You're like, You are? There's just other people sitting at the bar. John considers his friends. So that part was weird. But why wouldn't he just, at that point, get up and go, okay, let me finish my drink and then we'll go?
He really wanted to hang out at that bar. He really did. He did not want to leave the bar. I said to him over and over, I said, John, let's go to your house.
Yeah.
Come in my car. Let's go to your house. He would not do it.
He talks about all the time how attractive he thinks you are. And so you have this attractive girl saying, let's go to your house. And John, he might be an alcoholic because that's a weird thing to be like, no, I want to sit at the bar.
Yeah. These people are buying me drinks. I can't leave.
That's very, very bizarre.
Detective Andy.
Mm-hmm. So walk me through this because I don't know what happened after that. Did you two just leave? Like, what happened?
He was like running away from me at full speed.
How fast is that?
and I went to my car. My friend Lauren, I said, look for him. She said he's nowhere to be found.
He's in a dumpster.
I don't like. He was hiding something. I felt like there was something he was hiding. He was not the way he was on the phone with me prior. Before this whole thing, he was begging me, saying, Cape Coral is such a great place. It's such a great place, for this. You're going to have so much fun here. We're going to have a great time. He pitched me this, like, wonderful weekend that we would have streaming, having so much fun. His old friends, as he calls it.
Yeah.
And he was running away from me, mean, insulting me, trying to embarrass me in front of other people. I was a very big John defender before this, but it's hard to defend him now because he was really mean to me, and I don't think I did anything wrong to him.
Well, no, because I watched a lot of what happened, and when you guys come in, I guess if people donate something, they get a song played on your stream, right?
Yeah. So the way it works is it's called TTS, text to speech. So they could pay like $3 and say something like how you have a super chat, but it's audible.
Yep.
And you can hear it. Or $5 is for a song. So it was just bad timing that somebody had sent a song as I was walking in. And, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind that song, but John was so offended that there was a song playing, and it wasn't even playing that loud. In fact, I turned it down for John. And I wasn't even using my external speaker. I was using my phone speaker. So that wasn't even loud at all. Like when he was complaining about the TTS, like people were sending statements about him, which are very similar to super chats that he would get. He was so offended by that. And he was so upset by it. He tried to turn off my equipment. He was grabbing it. He's turning it upside down. He was so offended by this, even though he gets super chats every day of the same nature.
Even though he knew exactly what this was. I knew exactly what this was. I heard you guys set this whole thing up when you were on his show, and then he thinks it's a date all of a sudden. It's like, this was never a date, John.
I'm so happy I have evidence. I have so much evidence against him right now.
Well, that's the interesting part because he says he's going to sue you now. Because
he since
Go ahead.
then,
For what?
Yeah, he wanted to sue me, but now he texted me and I said, John, because I'm just trying to get him here because I know he's leaving on Tuesday. So I still want to get him here. He's dating somebody supposedly in my town.
What?
And I would pay for his Uber. I really would because it's only like $200, and I just know if I had him here. I mean, he's even funnier than I remember. So.
That's true. Yes. I mean, you're right.
Even
he is a
him
star.
on my stream.
You could definitely make a star out of him. I totally agree with you.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, it says a lot that he was on my stream for like 10 minutes, and there's been like so many shows about it. It shows
That's true. That's a good point.
He's more insane than anybody else. He's the top.
We can't stop talking about it. That's a good point.
Yeah, I would pay for that Uber right now. If he texted me and said, okay, I'm ready to come, I would pay for that Uber at any time of night. But I think I played it all wrong. I think I asked too many times, and I was like, I've been really like steadily saying to him, John, I really think you should at least try this with me for like 24 hours to see if you like it.
Right.
And but I'm really close to giving up. He's been so difficult, and I think he just wants to do that politics thing, and maybe he's just happy doing that.
Ugh.
Well, he's not happy. I can tell you that for sure. And he is very difficult to work with. I've scheduled 2 shows with him now, and both times was a pain in the ass. He'd be like, all right, we said 3 o'clock, right? I'm like, dude, just scroll up 1 thumb stroke, and you can see right there I wrote 6 o'clock. All right, so 3?
Have you tried to meet up with them in person at all, Carl?
No! That sounds nuts!
Really? Oh, okay.
And if you do, Carl, don't bring hip-hop.
I mean, that would be incredible.
I just can't believe he was so offended that you guys showed up at his house. And then he pretended that the guy showed up to his house after that to harass him.
I don't know if that's true, but I know he did get some deliveries. And
when I was on the show with him yesterday, he had to get up at least 4 times to answer the door because people were delivering pizzas and Panda Express and shit. Which I don't even know if that's true. And then John's like, "You believe me, right?" I'm like, "Dude, you lie all the time. Right. Why would anyone believe you about anything?"
Oh, good, because I was doing blow.
I believe it. I believe him in this case.
I know he's probably right.
It's all part of it. That's the dangerous, not dangerous, but it's kind of an annoying part of IRL is when people find out where you are. They really want to get involved, especially with John.
Right.
Because it's so funny to see his reaction, like getting up a million times to get the pizzas. It's hilarious. There's not many things funnier than that.
Now, when I was out with him yesterday, he claimed that your mother was calling him, even took a phone call from her in the middle of the show. Is that really your mom?
So that's somebody from my Discord that is very funny, and she is almost like a mother, but she's not my actual mother. But she wants to be involved. She likes meddling and things. And
that's hilarious because I said to him, I go, John, why do you think that's Elisa's mother? And he goes, well, because I asked her a couple things and she knew. It's like, okay,
I got instinct.
So you have no idea. Okay, that story checks out completely. That's really funny.
My actual real mom took John's side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like, "You really handled that incorrectly, Elisa."
She's like, "Elisa, you're very annoying."
The same thing that John did.
I can relate. My parents don't like me either.
Did your mom call the cops on you?
Everybody that's against me, they're on that person's side.
Yeah.
Always.
That's really funny.
John does have the demeanor of a 70-year-old woman.
So the last I saw was you guys had to get a hotel room, which I don't know. There's a lot of hotels in Cape Coral. You probably had to go to.
There's one nice hotel over there. There's one good one.
Okay,
it's the Westin, and it's expensive, and the pool's closed, and there's so much construction, so you're paying a lot, and they don't even have a pool.
Boo.
Yeah, so you guys had to stop, get a hotel. So you asked John to reimburse you for that because the whole plan was you were going to stay with him that night. And John was offended by that, but he does owe you that money, I think.
Yeah, he owes me around $735.50. I calculated it.
Okay.
The hotel altogether was like $411. Then I had to pay for my friend's meals. That was 4 meals. I had to pay for gas.
Oh my God,
it's
really DC all over again.
It's completely his fault.
You know what's funny, Elisa, is that you and I have this in common. John owes both of us money. Yeah. What do you think the chances are either of us are going to get the money?
There's already it's been documented. You're going to say, you owe me $750, and he's going to say, LOL.
Right, yes. Yeah. I know.
I'm sure. No, I don't think he's going to pay me any money at all. I could earn the money back in an hour if he came here. I know that.
No, that's very true. So, that's cool. I'm glad you're trying to get this going, get round 2 going. I mean, I did round 2 with John. I get it.
Round 2. I don't want this to be the end of it. This is too depressing. If this is it, what I did with him, I'm not happy with that.
Right.
But there's no reasoning with the person that's unreasonable.
Well, I just can't believe how stupid he is that he didn't know what this was going to be. And the fact that he has to be at that pub drinking beer when it's like, well, no, just this one time, do this thing with these people who just drove 2.5 hours to do this thing with you.
And if you like to drink, why don't you have booze in your house?
He does. He was drinking all night last night, which I'm going to show you.
Go to your fucking house with hot chicks. Jesus.
I know. What's the problem?
Get IRL, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
I think he might have been embarrassed about something in his house. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, I know he doesn't have a couch. He told me that.
Yep.
But it was a very nice house from the outside. I can't imagine the inside would be bad.
No, the inside's fine, except for it's all boxes still. He hasn't unpacked anything. He hasn't set up any furniture. Because I was talking to him about this.
That actually is my furniture.
Right. I think it is. Because he doesn't have any light fixtures. He doesn't have any lights.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be dark in there. It looks very dark on the streams that I've seen him do.
It's very dark in there.
He just figured he's moving to the Sunshine State.
Who turned off the sunshine? But that's interesting that he would invite you over and then realize he's embarrassed about it. Maybe he had grand hopes that he would get motivated and set some shit up, and then it just didn't happen. I don't know. It's weird.
I do not know why he changed it like that. I mean, we definitely went through it so much because I was asking him about the sleeping arrangements. I was asking about the bathrooms. He said, I have 2 bathrooms. You and your friend could share a bathroom. Like, we really went through it. And I even asked about my dog because I had my dog with me. I said, is it okay if I bring a dog? He goes, oh, dogs love me.
What's wrong with this guy?
That story checks out.
Add it to the long list of women that Stuttering John is disappointed.
No shit. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Elisa, I'll let you go.
All right.
Where can people find you and your stream?
Okay, so my stream is on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Elisa Jordana. And you could find John's stream there, and
it's worth watching.
Stream, but
it's worth checking out, definitely.
Yeah, there's good parts. There's a couple good parts.
There are, for sure. All right, I'm still confused about how this all went down and why he was mad that you were at his house. And
well, I heard that you're the John
sense.
Whisperer. Can you ask him to come here?
I can, yeah. I'll actually text him tomorrow and say you really need to go and hang out with Elisa and do this IRL streaming thing because. He's already said he's leaving the Dabbleverse. Spoiler.
Right.
Yesterday was
you got the last of them.
Yesterday was his last day in the Dabbleverse. So if he's going back to doing politics or whatever the fuck he's going to talk about or reminiscing about Howard Stern, no one's going to give a shit. So he's got to find something. I really do. I agree with you, Elisa. I think he is perfect for IRL.
Yeah, he is. And if you get him to come here, I'll drive him back. I'll drop him off at your house.
Podcast, WA.